be marked with behavioral codes by the U.S. government based on your social media if this new bill is passed. It would create a federal government that has full access to police and control every website. I am not kidding. Literally every single one. Not only that, the government would create a new federal agency that is it's online police. They could launch investigations and fine you based on what you say. And it is not like the FBI, where if they accuse you of something, you get your day in court. No, their word on your online behavior would be final.
This is unbelievable.
Now, I know this sounds scary, and this is one of those segments where I'm going to show you bits of the bill that I think are concerning. I know that doesn't always make for amazing television, and Clayton will lecture me later about screenshots of bills. But anyway, I think we need to educate ourselves about this, and we absolutely should tell our representatives what we think of it. So hold on tight. I know I've already lost you at new federal agency, because federal agencies did not have a good week last week with the Durham report, with the FBI whistleblowers,
CIA.
With, new revelations that the FBI has been using 9/11 powers to survey Americans. Over almost 300,000 times last week, that was revealed. And they said, oh, that's not in the rules. We got confused about the Justice Department emails. So, okay, here's what this is. This is from the Digital Platform Commission Act of 2023. Came out from these two Democratic senators, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet and also Vermont Senator Peter Welch. Now, what they're couching this as is a need for AI regulation. We've talked about this a lot. You know, tech giants are sort of warning that AI is going to run away from us too fast and then take over in short order. But is that what this bill is? It's not. It's not that at all. AI is barely mentioned in this bill other than a cautionary tale. What it does is give the government full access to every social media and website that operates inside the United States. I'm not kidding. Look at the jurisdiction. That's how they define it, is basically, any digital platform. Any
digital platform, the services of which originate or are received within the United States. So they get access to overseas.
Yes.
As well.
If Americans access it, or it can be accessed in the United States, that's their business. What they would call this is the Federal Digital Platform Commission. Federal Digital Platform Commission. It's like the FCC for the internet. Here's what their job would be, and it's 7 things that they lay out. They would access digital platform for civic engagement, they say, access to government services and public safety, competition to encourage the creation of new online services, prevention of harmful levels of concentration of private power. Okay, put a pin in that one. That sounds a little concerning. That means they don't want private individuals to basically have any power to have a website and then use that power. Number 5, a robust and competitive marketplace of ideas with a diversity of view. Yes, the government really wants diversity of view. Can we go to the next one, please? Number 6, protection for consumers, including communities of color and underserved population, from deceptive, unfair, unjust, unreasonable, or abusive practices committed by digital platforms. And number 7, assurance that the algorithmic process of digital platforms are fair, transparent, and safe. Okay, that one concerns me a lot. Who just laughed? Go ahead.
David fell out of his chair.
Because they use these terms that are subjective. It's like, and it just leaves it open for interpretation, however they want to interpret those words. And I always say that if you're going to go after people that cause fear, you have to do it to the least common denominator, the weakest among us, because nobody can be hurt. And that just drives me insane.
Right. And so think about this idea of marginalized communities, right? And then if you can make the point that, let's say, me saying any words that makes you think, oh, this might not be fair, might be then flipped on its head and called hate speech and then downranked. I mean, I'm going to make this point later about how COVID behavior would have and could have been downranked, that kind of thing. So again, right away, we need to be wary that the government wants to access all digital platforms, but says, don't worry, we're doing this for civic engagement. Raise your hand if you believe that. And if we play this out a little, like we have platforms like we're streaming right now on Rumble, which have refused to censor topics such as COVID, elections, gender ideology, you name it. This bill would give the government a driver's license inside of Rumble. And Rumble couldn't say then, well, we don't want to downrank this conversation. We don't want to censor this conversation. They would have no choice. Twitter. We've shown how through the Twitter files, the government agencies could just slip into Twitter's DMs and say, censor that person, block that person, cancel that person, right? But now, because of Elon Musk, that had to be stopped. Well, this bill is one way to take that power back and just completely be in the driver's seat. Now, the senators say they want this because of these reasons. They say that, they need to make sure that digital platforms are not undercutting small business, abetting the collapse of trusted local journalism. They're worried, right, that online social media is abetting the collapse of trusted local journalism. So they're choosing what is true.
Yeah.
Right. And who gets to speak?
They're going to tell us these journalists are deemed. This is like Canada all over again. Right.
Yes.
So the Canadian government, of course, will make you register to be deemed a government selected journalist, basically.
Right.
If you're part of like Rebel News or somebody else, no, you're not a deemed journalist. You're not a trusted source. And so I could imagine a scenario where there's like a riot or there's something happening in your town and people take to Twitter and they're posting videos of like what they're seeing out their window. They're like, look what's happening. What's happening in my town, and they could shut that down. They could literally come in and shut that down. And at the same time, they could then be turning to these trusted sources to disseminate fake news.